that to remain the same as well. But the big one was the name change. We really wanted to get this triple wood onto the bottle. And triple wood basically talks about the three different types of wood that we are using to mature our whiskey in. And it's these three types of wood that give Grant's its quite distinct flavour. That sort of rich, smooth, mellow flavour is what I call sweet, spicy and vanilla. So that was the big one for us, because we used to be called Family Reserve, and I didn't really tell anyone about what our whiskey was, whereas these three woods tell people that, yeah, we're maturing our whiskey in three different types of wood, which is quite rare and unique for us.
So what change if it's only the bottle, but the flavor and
the flavour is the
still
same, because we're number one in Tanzania. It's a really important place for us. The flavour everyone enjoys. We've won countless awards for the flavour of our whiskey, but we wanted to change how the whiskey looked. It just seemed a little bit tired. You know, we hadn't changed the bottle in over 20 years, and we thought, no, we need to come in and be strong and proud of what we are, you know.
Okay, so you as a brand ambassador, what comes in your mind when it comes to brand?
When I think of Grants, man, lots of things come to my mind. I do a lot of travel with Grants. My life is pretty much Grants now. But good memories, happy thoughts. I sort of won this ambassadorship through a pretty crazy competition, which I don't think any other brands would do apart from Grants. So a lot of really good memories. I've met a lot of amazing people throughout my journey with Grants. So I'm very thankful. It's completely changed my life, and I owe a lot to not just Grants, but the whole William Grants family. So yeah, a lot of happy memories when I think about Grants.
So can we talk a little about whiskey drinker, the culture and something like that?
Yeah, man, it's quite funny. If you asked me that question about a whiskey drinker and the culture of drinking whiskey about 15, 20 years ago, I would probably say old man with cigar sitting in some sort of old library discussing politics or something. Now it's completely changed, and it's different everywhere in the world. But one big thing that's very cool about whiskey is a lot more women are getting into whiskey, which they should, because women have got a better nose and a better palate, and they're finding they're enjoying cocktails more. They're enjoying it straight with ice, with water. Yeah. It's become more high energy. It's not the stuffy old man sitting with a cigar. It's for your friends. It's throughout the day we can have some cocktails, you know? And it's less about we just drink whiskey, more about mixing it and having fun with it. So I think the whiskey drinkers is everyone now. It's completely changed from that old man stuffy view into a more of a young person's game.
Okay, so I can say which differentiates these Grants to compare to other whiskies?
Oh wow! For me, I would say flavour. I'm not going to badmouth any other whiskies, because I think all whiskey is great whiskey. It's just different ones for different people. But I know the big one that separates us is we're a family-owned company, and we have been since the very beginning. And the person who makes this is called our master blender. It's what we call our master, and his knowledge he has received from 5 generations of the family. So they've all passed their knowledge from the owner, from the founder, all the way down to this man who makes this whiskey. The muscle, which is basically our coopers, we call them muscle because every day they're pounding at these barrels. We have so many coopers that are working on each of these 3 woods, repairing barrels, making barrels, and it means we have complete control over the woods, over each of these casks that we're using. And finally, our stillmen, who are what we call our makers. They are highly trained, and they sometimes start from the bottom, from like the warehouse, and work their way up. So when you have this knowledge of the maker, the muscle, the master, they all talk to one another, it means you have ultimate control of your whiskey, and it's why we're number 3 globally, number 1 in Tanzania, and I think that the flavour just speaks for itself.
Okay, so when it comes to branding this brand in African market, which factor do you consider in branding?
In the branding, I think the bottle speaks for itself as well, and this visuals as well. The big thing about branding is communicating to the customer, why are we better, right? What makes us stand out? And again, it's those 3 barrels, because, well, anyone anyone with a blend, they need something to stand out and to shout about. Now, luckily for us, we've got a lot to shout out about, whether it be these 3 different types of woods that we're using, whether it be the 25 different single malt whiskies in there, whether it be our award-winning grain whisky in there as well. But I think all of this is pretty much communicated in how the bottle looks. It looks much better. That information is clearly on the bottle, and we've been doing this for a long time. We're number one because we make very good whiskey, and we thought, look, we just had to change how the bottle looks. We need to be proud of what we're doing, and it's something that I can quite happily order with a few friends and have on my table now, you know?
So how is the life in Tanzania?
It's hot, man. It's so hot. Like, I love Tanzania. I love it because the people are so laid back. It'll happen when it happens attitude, which is very much me as well. But it's great. I love coming here. Everyone's always so welcoming. Everyone's so nice, so friendly. But I do struggle a little bit with the heat. I'm Scottish. We don't really get much sun, and it's quite a humid climate in Tanzania as well. But it just means I add more ice to my whiskey, and we're fine.
So in Africa, which other country do you visit?
So I was in Zambia just 2 days ago, which was a lot of fun as well. That was my first time in Zambia, so we had a lot of fun there. We had a big launch party. We done some bartender training and a bunch of interviews as well. I was in South Africa a few months ago in Johannesburg, and that was great. That was really fun. The people there were great. Massive launch party. We're actually doing a bunch of triple goods launch parties in South Africa at the moment. Next one will be in Durban, which looks a lot of fun as well. So check that out. And I was in Nairobi last year. Like, I came to Tanzania for the first time last year, and we went to Nairobi, and oh my God, man, it was so much fun. It was just crazy. Like, I didn't know what to think when I first came to Africa, and I know it's a massive continent, but every country is so different, but the attitude of the people remains the same, which is a lot of love and a lot of friendship, and just I feel at home every time I come here. No matter where I travel to, I feel very comfortable, and I think that says a lot about the people.
Okay, this is your first time to visit Tanzania, huh?
Tanzania, I was here last year. Yeah. So I was sitting probably in this spot about a year ago today, which was really fun. So we done some training. I brought over a pretty special bottle to celebrate a big milestone for Grants being number one in Tanzania. So we shared that with some of the guys, and we had time in town in some bars, doing some cocktails, having some food. So yeah, it's my second time here, but I love it here. It's great.
Okay, thank you.